I stopped scrolling on social media for 30 days. The results will shock you. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Janinda, or Jenny. Janinda is the name of my channel. But thanks so much for watching and welcome back. Now, the title is a little clickbaity. You might not be totally shocked, and my life didn't completely change. But you know what? It did get a little bit better, and I think that's worth talking about. First of all, before I go ahead and get deep into everything, I just want to see if you notice this too. So, on Instagram Reels, for example, I'm saying specifically Instagram Reels because this is where I notice it the most. On like a trendy video or a highly liked or highly shared video, the first couple of comments, people are so sensitive. This is kind of when I decided, okay, maybe I should kind of get off social media, is when I would be scrolling on Instagram Reels and then I'd go through the comments and like it would be like a cute dog with a hat on or something. And like one of the top comments would be like, you could clearly see how distressed he is. You're a horrible owner. And just like, I don't know, that's not the main focus of the video, but that's just kind of what got the ball rolling and kind of got me thinking like, man, social media kind of sucks. But at the same time, it doesn't. I love social media. It's something I want to make a career out of. But we're going to talk about scrolling today specifically. And yes, it is not clickbait that I did take 30 days off from scrolling. I actually did do that. And I really feel like it benefited me. And we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, starting January 1st, I decided to take a break from social media, scrolling specifically, and I deleted Instagram and TikTok off of my phone. I still did decide to continue to watch YouTube videos because I feel like, with YouTube, you have to select what you want to watch. And I watch a lot of like informational stuff or stuff that motivates me or helps me. So, in my eyes, YouTube is a productive social media, but I will talk a little bit about the shorts aspect of that later. The three main reasons why I decided to take a 30-day break from scrolling on social media was one, my screen time was entirely too high, especially with TikTok. I spent so much time just scrolling and not doing anything productive for myself and essentially just wasting time, which that's kind of the second point in itself is I wasted a ton of time. And then the end of the day would come by and I would just feel like kind of angry and upset, like, oh, I didn't get anything done today. And it's like, who else do I have to be mad at except for myself because I spent 3.5 hours on TikTok, which might even be conservative for some people, but that's bad. Well, for me, anyways, it's subjective. But yeah, I was spending entirely too much time on my phone, glued to my screen, and not being productive. And the third thing, I was incredibly distracted. It was hard to keep my routines. It was hard to keep focus on my work. It was hard to like keep focus while I was getting ready. I just was incredibly distracted. And there's actually a specific TikTok sound that I would literally describe the way my brain sounded. And I'm going to find it and I'm going to play it.
Oh my God. What the hell?
That's literally like what my brain would sound like all the time, just because there was so much constant stimulation from scrolling every single day for hours every single day that just it was never quiet up here, I literally felt like I was addicted to scrolling. Like I would scroll and then be like, okay, I'm done. I would get out of my phone and like 2 minutes later feel kind of uncomfortable, open up the same app and just continue. Like it's a real thing, So when you open a social media application that has that For You page or the Reels kind of algorithm, you immediately get put into the first video that they show you, and then you jump into the infinite scroll. So with TikTok, for example, as soon as you open the app, it automatically starts showing you a video that you didn't even pick. The algorithm picked it for you, and that kicks off your scroll binge. I feel like a lot of people know this, but if you don't know, your algorithm will continue to feed you content that you have either liked, saved, or spent more time looking at or paying attention to. For example, if you watch a video 5 times over because it's visually captivating, even if you don't like it or anything, the algorithm picks up on the time that you spend paying attention to certain content on the app. So, with that, you're getting a highly curated feed created by an algorithm that is designed to keep you interested for as long as possible. This is why you fall into that infinite scroll, and then all of a sudden you check the clock and it's been like an hour and a half later, and you've just been scrolling the entire time. This infinite scroll algorithm model kind of works in the same way that a slot machine does and how it creates dopamine inside the brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that kind of acts as the reward center in your brain. So, for example, when you eat a yummy food or you achieve a goal or exercise or even unhealthy things such as like smoking a cigarette or doing drugs, your brain releases that dopamine, which is that feel good chemical. So, there are healthy and unhealthy dopamine activities, and unfortunately, scrolling just happens to be one of those dopamine activities that kind of takes more advantage of your brain than it does good. Like the slot machines, the possibility of hitting that big win is what keeps the person playing. So every time you pull that lever, most likely you're not going to win, but it's that excitement of that chance that, hey, I might win something, that is kind of in the same way that scrolling through subpar content, you go through like, subpar content, it's just kind of whatever, with the hopes that you're going to find a nugget of gold, a really good video, a really good piece of content that'll make you feel something, that'll motivate you, that'll inspire you in some way. And like, I totally get that because I did exactly that. I would like look at the time and be like, okay, I've been scrolling for entirely way too long. Once I find, something that really motivates me, I just need that one good motivating video. So I'm going to keep scrolling until I find it. And then an hour later, I'm still sitting on my ass. I haven't found a motivating video and I've just wasted another hour of my time with the hopes that I'll just find that perfect thing before I decide to log off. Okay, so what we all really want to know, how did the 30 days go and what did I learn? So the first week where I decided to delete all of my social media, excluding YouTube, because I did decide to keep YouTube but not watch the shorts, I deleted Instagram and TikTok off my phone. And I'll be totally real, that first week, I kind of felt like a little anxious and like kind of depressed. Like not depressed, but like I just felt like kind of miserable at some points in the day where I was like, I don't know how to describe it. And part of me thinks, hey, maybe I was PMSing, and I know that like I feel very dramatic and very miserable beforehand. So that might be part of it too. But I just remember like I was at work just like standing there and I was like, I feel terrible for no reason at all. And I don't know if it's just because my brain just got used to like scrolling for hours a day to not at all. And now there's that like drop in dopamine or something. And I just didn't feel good. But I don't know, that first week, I wasn't feeling too hot, but it might have been PMS too. The second week of no scrolling, I was so incredibly bored. I found myself like literally just like moseying around the house, just like looking for things to do. Like I painted a couple things and just did like little crafts, but they wouldn't even keep my interest for that long. I just felt bored and I found myself getting sucked into YouTube shorts. So, like I said, I still did decide to keep YouTube because YouTube does benefit me. I feel like more than like hinders me. So I decided to keep that. But on the app, the YouTube shorts just have this autoplay. So as I'm looking for my next video to watch, all of a sudden my eyes will get caught on the YouTube shorts. I'll click on it. And then all of a sudden I'm stuck in the infinite scroll loop again where I'm going and I'm like, what am I doing? So what I had to do was I actually deleted the YouTube app off of my phone. And when I wanted to watch YouTube, I just had to go through like Safari on my phone because I noticed that, first of all, the YouTube shorts were like way lesser quality on Safari and they didn't have the autoplay. So you could see that there was YouTube shorts, but they would all be still and they wouldn't autoplay and like go to the next one and play the first 3 seconds. So I wasn't really that interested in watching the shorts. So that made it a lot easier for me. And that's just kind of interesting, just noticing how these little triggers like capture your attention. And without those 3-second autoplays, I wasn't really that interested in the shorts at all. Also, in that second week, I did notice I still had the urge to scroll. So I was doing that through like online shopping. I found myself like obsessed with AliExpress just scrolling. It was so crazy just how bad I just wanted to scroll through something. So I did a little bit of shopping, realized, hey, I'm spending a lot of time on AliExpress. And I ended up deleting that app off of my phone as well. But yeah, there's just this urge to scroll, even without the social media apps there. I even found that I was excessively checking my email and like scrolling through my emails too. I don't know, there's just something like my brain just like wants to do this on my phone and like look at things at a fast pace, which I don't know about that. So by the third week, I also did log back into my social media accounts because, I want to grow on social media. I don't want to just completely cut it off forever. So I did go on my social media accounts to post, but I didn't scroll. I would just post and then delete the app off of my phone again. But I would find that sometimes I would kind of get caught in like looking through on Instagram specifically, looking through the first like 5 to 10 posts because those are like the people who are like closest to you or the most relevant. But then I found myself still like, okay, I'm scrolling again. But this time it was way easier to become aware and become conscious of, hey, I'm scrolling. And I just got off and it was like easier to stay off. So I did notice by the third week, it was a lot easier. My thoughts were a lot slower. I was more productive, feeling better. And it was just a little easier to be more conscious when I did go on the apps. Even though I would download TikTok to post, I would immediately delete it afterwards because I know that TikTok is nefarious. And I feel like that kind of is the worst, like, doom scroll loop of them all. So with TikTok, I posted and then I didn't even want to check out like the first and most relevant post. I just got like straight off of that. And finally, week 4, where I am right now, I honestly don't even want to scroll. Like, I feel really good. My thoughts feel a lot slower. I don't have a meme and a song and like 6 ideas running all at the same time at full blast, which is kind of what it felt like before. And yeah, I just feel really good. So, yeah, with that, now that it's the end of the 30 days, I'm not just going to say, okay, that was a great challenge and go back to my old habits. I really want to keep this up. I feel a lot more productive. I feel really good. And it feels really good to not be constantly overstimulated or comparing yourself like all the time. I think we should create more than we consume. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to self discipline and choosing to make the better decision for yourself and to not scroll, even though it's literally designed to be psychologically addictive, making the decision for yourself to make better choices and better habits and to not get sucked into that doom scrolling so that you can spend more time focusing on bettering yourself and your own life, I think is the way to go, to be honest. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can go ahead and follow me at my socials right here, right after we got done talking about social media, of course. I still want to create content and post content. I don't hate social media, but I do think, just like anything, there are risks involved. If you want to go and enjoy a drink every now and then, that's fine. You know your limits and you have self discipline. But if you're going out and binge drinking, every single day, every single like that's not good for you. And I kind of feel like we can apply the same thing to scrolling. I'm not demonizing social media and I don't think that we should not use social media. I think it's awesome. I love social media. But with that, there should be limitations that you set for yourself and personal boundaries. So, thanks guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.